Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I have got another Huda Beauty Obsessions palette. 2 looks, 1 video. That's gonna be a long title. That's probably not gonna be the title. Whatever. I don't care. So I'm gonna start off this one with she came up with like a new range of them after she brought out the other ones, kind of after I finished doing them. She brought out with a new range, which I said if she buy out more, I'd probably buy them. And I did. I kept my word, even though I didn't want to. And I only bought 3 of the 5. They're all inspired by precious stones, those kind of things, like gemstones, those kind of things. I brought 3. I didn't buy the amethyst, the purple, and I didn't buy the topaz, which is like the kind of warm brown ochre kind of colours, because I didn't feel like I need them, but if I want to get them in the future I will. So I got the sapphire, and I got the ruby, and I got the emerald, and I'm going to start off with the sapphire so far. So it is blue, but it also has a really cool, it's like a monochromatic blue, but it's got this really cool bright lime green, which I have on my inner corner here, and it's also got this really pretty silver as well, which I think ties in really nice. It's not just all blue, but there's a lot of blue, and there's like teals and stuff like that, so it's different ranges of what blue could be and what can go with blue, which I really like. So it's not just like a mix mash, I don't know, of just blues. There's a little bit of something in there that will make it a little bit interesting, which I find this look quite interesting, so yeah. I will have 2 looks coming up. I've got one, this is the second one. I will have one just before that though, a different kind of one using some more colours. The only shade I didn't use in the palette was this one on top here, because I couldn't fit any more on my eye, so I use everything else, and you will see it in the swatches. Speaking of swatches, let's get on with those swatches. So I've got my wipe ready. If I sound really nasally and like I'm going to lose my voice, I probably am. I've got a cold and yay! I am just dying with a cold basically, so just excuse that, I do apologise. But I do have my wipe ready to go. I got my arm ready to go. And we're gonna get into this. So I'm gonna go like I normally do, so from my right to left, all the way each row. There is 4 mattes of the 9 colours, and the rest are shimmers, the 5 shimmers. These 2 here in the centre, so this like this navy shade here and this silvery kind of shade, these are a bit chunkier. You need to be very careful. You'll see when I do, especially the first look, because that's when I use the 2 of those. They are quite chunky, so you do need a flat brush, stiff brush. You can wet them if you like. Just be careful when you're pressing into it, because it can crumble a little bit, so just be wary of that. But they are so pretty once they're actually on the eyes. They're so nice. And use a sticky base. Don't set your primer with those. Jesus, do not set your primer. But yeah, so we're going to go across. The only one I didn't use is this kind of shimmery cobalt blue, because I couldn't fit it on my eyes. So yeah, you'll see them now, what they look like. So let's just get started before I keep rambling and you guys get bored and turn it off. So we're going to start with the navy. This is a matte shade. And we're going to do a little swatch. So it's actually like, it's navy, but like it's what I would consider a bright navy, if that makes sense. It's bright. It comes out a little bit bright on the eye. I've got it to deepen both of the looks actually. I used it for that. The next shade is this shimmery cobalt blue, which is the one that I didn't use. So shiny. I'm going to do kind of like 2 layers of each colour just so you can see. And if I need to do a 3rd one, then you'll know you need to build it up more. But yeah, really nice colour. Didn't get to use this yet, but I will eventually. Next we're on to this shimmery teal, which is what I have on my lid, so you can get an idea what it actually looks like when you're using a brush. I just use a flat brush to apply this onto my lid. But this is like an aqua, like a mermaidy kind of colour. Gorgeous. Is it annoying that this is crooked? It's kind of annoying me. So next, I forgot to mention actually, I have no primer on my arm. It's this just bare arm, bare fingers, dry fingers. When I use a wipe, I'm drying them off like really well, so they're not wet at all. I'm gonna take this kind of bright, it's like this but matte, and I have this kind of as my transition shade for both looks as well. This I find so nice. It's so easy to blend as well. Like I took pictures of my looks, and I didn't realise how easy they were to blend, how well they blended, but it was mainly this colour that blended so well. So yeah, now this is the chunky one, so this is the centre one. Really lightly with my finger, really lightly, but a few swirls of it, and we're just gonna press this on. Now this is gorgeous. I think this is my favourite colour in the entire palette. It's like I think I said it in the look, it's like a scarab beetle, if that's what they're called. They're in The Mummy. I don't know what they're called, but the little beetle things, it looks like they're kind of like skin colouring. Oh, this is so pretty, so pretty. It's like really, really dark navy base with bright turquoise shimmer and a little bit of a purple in it as well. I can see purple when it's on the eyes anyway. Next is this silvery shade. This is very chunky, so this is even chunkier. But this is like a silver shimmer with like different coloured sparkle through it. So like I can see purple, I can see gold, I can see a little bit of blue just going through, so it's really interesting. It's not just your normal silver. So it looks like this. Just makes it looks silver, but like it makes it look really interesting when you kind of actually have it on the eye and you can see up close what it looks like. So that's the second row. Okay, and then this bottom row, this one is the lime green that I have in my inner corner here. I did have to build it up a little bit because what I would describe this as a pastel lime green. So you know, like some pastel colours you have to build up a little bit because they're obviously a lot softer, they're a lot more kind of washed out, but they're supposed to be. That's kind of the way this one is. Like I wouldn't say it's a true lime green as what I know lime green to be. So I may need to do this a couple times, but you can kind of see it. We'll do another go. It's really nice though. This is probably like my second favourite colour in the palette because it's like the only other interesting, not the only other interesting colour, but the one that I would be most interested in, that I was like really excited to use this kind of colour on my eye. So that's him there. Next is this bright matte cobalt blue. So it's very similar to the shimmer, just matte. So kind of like the way these two are very similar but different textures. This is the same. Really bright. So, but this, can you see down here? This would be really cool if you wanted to do like a blue smoky eye. Just do the shimmer on the lid and then that just to blend it out, because it's very monochromatic then. Really, really cool looking. Very bright. And then our final shade is going to be this shimmer. I've got this on my lower lash line in this look. This is like a, what would I describe that? Like an ocean blue, if you want to get fancy. So this is going to be down here. That only needs one go. You don't even need a second go with that one. They're so pigmented. The shimmer, the normal shimmers are so pigmented. These two are very pigmented as well. You don't need a second go with these. They're just chunkier. That's the only thing about them. I love these colours. I'm so happy that I've got an all blue palette. It's not like brown with pop blue or orange with pop blue or peach with pop blue or purple with pop blue. It's a blue palette with a pop of green. So like I couldn't want more in my life. Yeah, I just love how this looks. I think it's just so cool that they're just like, yeah, this is a blue palette and if you want to buy it, you're going to be wearing blue. That's it. That's basically all. So I do love these palettes. As you know, I've loved most of the other ones. There's only one that I loved it, but like it not as much as I loved all the other ones. It was the gemstone one. This is so nice. So nice. I kind of like when there's mattes in it. That's basically, the gemstone one was all shimmers. I like when there's a bit of matte in it as well. So yeah, love this look. Or love the look of this palette. And let's get on with the first look. Alrighty, so this is going to be the first look of the Huda Beauty Obsessions gemstone collection. So this is the Sapphire one, as I was talking in the beginning. It's all blue. So we're going to do, I think I'm going to do something with like a bit of a smoky eye with like this shimmer on the lid, this kind of dark navy shimmer. You can kind of see it better there. And then this silver in the inner corner, and then these two to blend out, and then I'm going to use the rest in the second look. So let's get on with this. So just to save us a little bit of time, I've already got my foundation on. This is the Inglot AMC Cream Foundation in the shade LW100. I've got this on. It looks really dark, but that's it on me, so it actually matches me quite well. It looks really dark in the bottle though, but it's not. And I've done my brows. I used the NYX brow pencil in the shade Taupe on my brows because my roots are kind of growing through, so I can go for a darker brow with that. And then I've also got my eyeshadow primer on. This is the MAC 24 Hour Extend Eye Base as per usual, just to give us something nice and sticky to stick the shadows onto. So let's get into the palette. So I'm going to start off with this shade here. This is like a bright teal kind of shade, like a turquoisey shade. I'm taking this on a MAC 217 brush, and we're just going to use this as our transition shade just to kind of buff into the crease. So let's give this a go. I haven't used these as much as the other Obsessions palettes. Obviously I don't have them as long, but I do have them pretty much almost since they came out. I bought them like about 2 weeks after they came out. But I just haven't gotten a chance to use them. I've used them a few times, just not as much. And I've kind of maybe only used like 1 or 2 shades from each one at a time. So I haven't given them a full go like this, but I do really like them. It's the same kind of quality. I will say some of the shimmers are a little bit chunkier. You'll see with like one of the shimmers I'm going to use today, that's quite a bit chunkier, but it works, still works. So as you can see, I just popped it in my socket and I brought it right, and I brought it kind of high up here as well. I don't know why, I just kind of did, just so that you can really see the shades. So let's move on. I've got a hair in my lash. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to a Makeup Geek Defined Crease brush. It's this little tiny little blending brush, and we're going to go into the navy shade up here. Also a matte finish. These are both matte, and then the other two are going to be a bit more chunky, sparkly. And we're just going to pop this on the very outer corner. Just little circle motions just to help blend it in, keeping all the focus of it there, and then bring it in. You might notice, obviously I've probably already spoke about this, but my setup is a bit different because I've kind of gone to the other side of my room. So the background that you used to see, that's where I am now, and I've moved everything around that way. So yeah, I still might move it again because I kind of have another idea that I might think is a bit better, but we'll have to try that again. I did injure myself while I was doing it as well. I dropped a full-length mirror on my toe. Wasn't fun. Almost cried, but realised I'm an adult and shouldn't. But yeah, it's fine. Just got a lot of bruising. Had a bit of a limp for a while, but it's kind of getting better now. So it comes out a lot brighter than it actually looks in the pan, but I don't mind that. I like that it's like a bright navy, if that makes sense. It's like kind of in your face, which I do quite like. So now we're going to move on to the lid. I'm going to take, I got this in one of my advent calendars. This is a sleek, doesn't have a name as far as I can see. It's just a really stiff flat brush. And I'm going to take a little bit of this, I can't really see because the lights are too much. There you go. So it's almost navy as well, but it's got like kind of a teal and light blue glitter through it. And we're just going to pack this. I'm using a flat brush to really press it on. I'm just going to press this onto the actual lid. Oh, I really like that. Okay, I really like that colour. It almost looks like it's a duochrome, but it's not. Well, it kind of is actually. Kind of like a royal blue shimmer and a turquoise shimmer with the navy base. Oh, it's really nice. I really like that. I'm actually going for dinner with one girl that I still work with, one girl that I used to work with, or 2 girls that I used to work with, and one girl that I still work with, all meeting up to go for Nando's. So I thought I'd use it as an excuse to film. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of that navy that we used before and just pack it on again, just on the outer corner, just to re-intensify where the darkest parts are. So we're like right around into the crease, and it'll help the shimmer kind of not look as harsh. So like that. I love blue eyeshadow. I don't think blue is worn enough. I know like a lot of people kind of that do YouTube and are, you know, wear a lot of bright colours will wear blue. But just in like everyone's day-to-day life, like this looks awesome. I like this. So let's just see if there's any follow. I can kind of see some already, so we'll just see how much there actually is. Not too much. No, I was expecting more. I thought there was more. Okay, so for my lower lash line, we're going to go back in with the navy again, and I'm taking this on a 214 brush from MAC. It's like a really small little flat stubby smudgy brush. I love this for my lower lash line. We're just going to pop this right against the lashes. Just so we get that nice bit of depth, and just make sure that it sticks on that outer corner and connects there, so we have a nice frame around the eyes. Bringing it all the way across. So on a really teeny weeny little brush like this, we're going to go in back into the bright teal here, and I'm just going to blend out all along the edge of that blue all the way around here as well, so it looks like it's like one big blend all the way around. And we can re-intensify the navy if we need to. Okay, so just kind of finish off my skin a little bit because I was doing my under eye concealer and I was like, I'll just do the rest of my concealer, and then I was like, I want a powder because it looked really shiny. And I just used the MAC Pro Conceal Correct palette in light, and I used the NC15, this one up here. And I also, for my powder, just used the Studio Fix plus powder plus foundation, whatever it's called, in NW10, just to kind of neutralise the kind of yellowness on my skin. And now I'm going to finish off the shadows and finish off using this palette. So I'm going to take another sleek brush. This is like a small version of that flat brush. I also got this in a advent calendar. And we're going to take this silvery kind of shade here. Kind of like the other Obsessions palettes. They don't really have any like inner corner highlighty kind of shades, but I mean I've got a million of them, so I'm not too fussed about that. But I am just going to use this as my inner corner highlight basically. Because I think it would look cool. It'll go really nice with the actual look. This is quite chunky. You will find it tends to crumble when you're pressing your brush into it. So I would just be careful, go with a light hand so you don't break up the shadow. So shadows are pretty much done now. I'm going to go on to a bit of liner. I'm going to show you this, but then I'm going to do my actual kind of my black liner on off camera because it'll just be quicker if I do. It'll take me like 20 minutes to do. So this is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in LSD. It's actually very similar to the colour of my lid, so I think it'll be really cool on the waterline to kind of tie it all in and then do a black line. It will look really cool. Just show you. It's actually really, really similar. It's like navy with like the kind of brighter coloured flecks to it. So let's pop this on. And although this is quite a bright look and all that, I still want it to look a little bit smoky. So make sure you get right in between your lashes on your bottom lash line. So I'm kind of going to finish everything off now. I'm going to do my liner, lashes, like my mascara, my false lashes. Probably just going to finish my face off, my lip and everything, and I'll just tell you at the end what I use just to save us all a bit of time because I still have another look to do as well. So I don't want to have this going on for an hour and then I still have another one to watch. I don't want to keep you here all day. So I'll be back to you in a sec. Alrighty guys, so this is finished look number 1. I'm going to go through everything that I put on my face that I did off camera. So I obviously did my waterline on camera, but I have got on the Inglot Gel Liner as my upper lash line liner. Just did a little bit of a wing with it and that was kind of it. I use my upward lash mascara from MAC as my mascara. The lashes I put on, these are the they're from Primark. They're Disney Minnie Mouse false lashes. They're really nice actually. They're kind of, they don't take over the whole look, but they do give a nice bit of drama to the look. So that's that. On my cheeks I just used my Old Faithful, the old NYX Taupe blush. I've got on for blusher, I have the Dandelion blush from Benefit. This is just like a soft pinky kind of shade. I like a bit of pink with my blue on the eyes. If I sound really hoarse and like a little bit nasally, it's because I'm sick. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Yeah, kind of trying to get over this, but just have to deal with it. This is the Catrice High Glow Light Infusion mineral highlighter on my cheeks as my highlighter. I put a lot of it on, so I'm looking a bit sweaty, but sure look. And then on my lips, I've got on the MAC Lip Tensity Lip Pencil in Pressed Blooms, which is like a kind of rosy pinky kind of shade. It's got a nice bit of colour to it though. And then on my lips as my lipstick, I've got the MAC Politely Pink lipstick, which is a really nice, shiny, very soft pink. Very, very natural pink, but it's got a really high shine to it. So that's really nice. So I think that is everything that's on my face. I don't think I'm missing anything. I hope you all liked this first look, and let's move on to the second look. Alright guys, so we're on to the second look. This is actually take 2 because I just filmed the entire intro of this part and was about to start putting eyeshadow on my eye, and then I realised I wasn't filming. So thank God I realised. But we're back to our Sapphire palette, and we're basically going to use these 3 on the bottom. We're going to use these ones like we did in the first look, and I think this one on top. I think I kind of have an idea in my head, and I really want to try this teal and this shimmery blue, but I don't need this shimmery blue and this shimmery blue, so like let's rein it in a little bit. But you will see everything in the swatches anyway, so if I do miss a colour, you will see it. I've already got on my foundation, which is the Makeup Forever, very old Makeup Forever Face and Body Foundation. I don't even know if they still do this anymore, but I love this, so I hope if they do have something similar to this, I'm gonna get it. On my brows, I've got the number 7 Beautiful Eyebrow Sculpting Pencil, and this is in the shade Brown. It's actually a really nice tone for like the way my hair is right now, where my roots have grown in. And yeah, but I will get my hair done soon, thank God, it's been so long. And I've got the MAC Prep and Prime 24 Hour Extend Eye Base on my lids as a primer like I did in the first look, and yeah, let's get on with it. So I'm actually going to start it quite similar to the first look. We are going to go in with a 217, and we're going to take this teal again, and let's give this a go. I'm going to pop this on the outer corner and into the crease, just blending it back and forward. You can bring it in as far as you want it, doesn't really matter, but just make sure you get it nice in the crease. This is going to be our like blue transition shade. I say that because it is a blue transition shade, but a lot of people just go with like a brown as a transition shade, so, but we're not. We don't want any brown in this, we want blue. So a little bit different from the last look now. We're going to go into this bright cobalt blue kind of shade, also matte finish. And I'm taking this on this like round, smaller blending brush because I don't know where I got this. I couldn't tell you where I got this. I have this years, but I love it. I still love it. You could use probably the next brush I'm going to use, but I want to keep it separate. I have separate colours on each brush, so yeah. Oh, this is really, really bright. I haven't actually used this shade yet. This is really bright. Just kind of going a bit deeper into the crease with this, making sure that the teal is still seen peeking out from behind. Okay, then we're going to go back in with the 217, just with whatever's left on it, and just blend the edge of that cobalt blue. But now we're going to go into the navy up here. Okay, taking a MAC 221 brush. This is like kind of like the brush we just used there. Or like a smaller 217, and it's round all the way around, but I really, really like it just for like wiggling right here, just on that outer corner, just to deepen it up. Like, you'll very slightly see a difference because we have that other bright blue down. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the inner corner, and we're going to actually use this bright lime, like I call it a pastel lime green, which kind of sounds a bit weird because lime green is supposed to be like super bright, but it's like a slightly more pastel version of that. And I'm taking a Real Techniques, what is this? Shading brush. And I'm just going to take a lot of this. I really want this to be quite prominent. I want this to be kind of the focus of the look. I'm just going to take it like right there. You might find you'll have to build this up, or maybe even use a white base underneath, because it is, like I said, pastel. I found a lot of pastel colours are like that. But we're just going to bring this right up, kind of blending it into where the end of the crease is, basically, just so that you get a nice bit of green there. it will start to build up a little bit. And not, I will bring it under a little bit, but not right now because I want to do my under eye concealer before I do that. I just want to get this on before I do another colour. Okay, so next onto the next colour, we're going to take a little flat brush. I think this is one of the ones I got on eBay. I've talked about it before, but I got it on eBay. This is the kind of shimmery teal. It's like the same colour as this one, but just shimmery. And I'm taking that on the flat brush, and this is going to be our lid colour. So I want to get the bright one down, the bright lime green down first, because I don't want the shimmer of this to go everywhere when I start blending. But I can always go back in and add more. This is really, really pigmented. Just packing it all over, basically where we've not put any shadow. And then we can start using it to blend into other shades. So when I get to here now, I'm just going to kind of pat it over the edge. Just gives a bit of a fade. And then I'm going to go back in with my 221, take a dab, just one little dab of that navy, and just kind of push it over that edge as well. And that'll just, they kind of just mix into each other then in that corner. So I still want a lot of the inner corner to be very limey green. And I'm going to take a little bit more of the lime green and pack that, kind of the same what we did on this side, so pack it over the edge of that. And then go back in with the shimmery teal and press that over. And eventually, it's kind of hard with this kind of colour because the lime is so light that it might take a few goes, but they will eventually blend. They always do. They will always blend, always blend. Okay, so I'm just going to do my under eye concealer so that way I can tidy everything up. Before I do that, I just want to do a little fallout test to see how much fallout I have now, because I did it on the last look, so I might as well do it again. I'm going to use my fingers. Just gonna, ooh, yeah, there's a lot of fallout. A lot of it is from actually the shimmery teal on the lid, from what I can see, because it looks like a shimmery teal on my cheek. So I'll tidy that up and we'll do under eye concealer off camera, and then I'll come back and we'll do the lower lash line. Okay, so moving on to the lower lash line, we're going to go into the bright cobalt blue to start with, just to see kind of how dark that's going to be on the lower lash line, because I always find that when I put things on the lower lash line, they look darker, even if it's the same colour, and I've got the same primer, I've got no base and no liner and nothing on. They can actually be darker than the top. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm blending more on top and it's a bit more concentrated down there, could be that. But we're going to take the cobalt blue first, and I'm just going to pop this on the outer, say, almost halfway across, almost. And then I've just cleaned off the brush a little bit, and we're going to take the deep navy shade. And we're just going to pop that just right on that outer corner there, just to connect it with the darkness that's up there. To be honest, like, you could have probably skipped that really, but I wanted to add it in just to make sure it's all nice and cohesive all together. So cleaning off my brush again, we're going to go into this shimmery blue, no, not in frame, shimmery blue here. It's like a kind of sky blue, really pretty. And you could probably just do the teal on the bottom if you want it to be all the same, but I want to get as many colours as I could in. So we're going to pop this just in the centre, right beside that cobalt blue, and just kind of wiggle where they meet and they'll blend. They blend a lot easier than it does on the lid because it's a smaller area, so you don't have to blend as much. And then to finish it off, we're going to take the lime green again on the same brush. I don't mind how big this goes because I want it to be nice and blown out on the inner corner. I'm just going to stamp a little bit more up here just to really intensify right in here. Then we're going to take some just along the inner corner that we left open on the bottom. Because I really want this to be like the pop when you look at the eye, you're like, oh, that's bright. Okay, so that's the palette pretty much finished with. So I'm gonna go and do my liner, my mascara, my lashes, my skin and my lip all off camera like I normally do, just to save us a bit of time, and I'll just quickly run through what I used afterwards, so I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I finished everything off. I'm going to just quickly fly through everything that I put on my eyes and my skin and my lip. So on my eyes I used the, where is he gone? The MAC brushstroke liner, just as my wing liner on top. On my waterline I use the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Ultraviolet, just on my waterline, just to blend in with that like cobalt blue to make it really bright. I just put mascara on my MAC Upward Lash Mascara on my lashes, and as false lashes I use the MAC 48 lashes. So they're really nice, really dramatic, but softly dramatic, if that makes sense. So not as like dramatic as say House of Lashes lashes and all that kind of stuff. Onto the cheeks then, I used, for my contour, I used the Next to Skin contour, just to give me a bit of sculpt, because I felt because my eyes are so dramatic I need a bit of shaping on my face. Then I used the NARS the NARS Dual Intensity Blush. These can be used wet and dry. This is in the shade Fervor, and it's got two shades. I used the lighter kind of pinky peachy kind of shade on my cheeks because I thought it would blend, it would contrast nicely, the peachiness would contrast nicely with the blue. And as my highlight I use my Makeup Geek highlighter in the shade Glitz, which is a very soft, has a slightly pink tone to it. Just on the top of my cheeks and a little bit on my nose. And then onto my lips to tie in nicely with the blush. I wanted to kind of match the same colour with like a peachy pink. So I used the Inglot Soft Precision Lip Liner in the shade 67. I've used this a lot, just to give me a bit of shape. And on my lips as my lipstick, I use the MAC Cream Sheen lipstick in Peach Blossom, which I love. Kind of matches the lipstick, or the blusher, really perfectly. And it's nice and shiny. So that's pretty much everything I have on my face. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. It's very tropical, which I wasn't expecting it to be this kind of tropical, but I really like it. My favourite colour is like the lime green, obviously. I do love my lime greens. So yeah, that is our finished look with our finished second look with the Huda Beauty Sapphire Obsessions palette. So it's a really nice palette. Like I said, these two shimmers, the kind of silvery one, the two that I used in my last look, and the centre one here, a little bit crumbly, just be careful with it, but they do go on really nicely once they're actually on the eye. They're so nice. I got so many compliments yesterday when I was out for dinner. So yeah, love this palette. So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you get some inspiration if you do have this palette and get an idea of what you could do with it. You don't obviously have to go as dramatic as I did. You can change things out, you can do whatever you want with it really. But yeah, if you did enjoy this look, then give me a big thumbs up, and if you like the other look, give me a thumbs up as well. And leave a comment down below, let me know what's your favourite look, which one of the two do you like best. I don't know, I like having a question, and that's my question. And also hit subscribe to see more videos, and I have two more of these Huda Obsessions palettes to do, unless she comes out with more, or unless I buy the other two that she has out. But yeah, I do have two more coming up eventually, and I'll see you in the next video guys. Bye!